Hello everyone and welcome to Clawson High School for tonight's girls basketball game between the Cavaliers of Southlake and your Clawson Trojans. We should be on tap for a great game, and I'm joined by my friend Nate Vesper.
Thank you, Jack. Clawson is coming off a big 32-23 win over Warren Ward's Tower, where they won in dominating fashion. Southlake Cavaliers are coming off a dominating win against Warren Mount, where they won rather easily. This should be a very competitive Max Silver game.
A key player to watch for Clawson is Al Werner, as she's the backbone of the defense, leading the team in blocks, and has also been a 4-year varsity starter. And Kelly Horn describes her as a very important player and role for this team.
Number 3 from Southlake, Maya Rogan, is an explosive scorer, and look for her to get to the basket a lot tonight and lead Southlake Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers are coached by Wilbur Jones, and coming in with a 5-2 record and 2-0 play in league play, should be in store for a great first place matchup. We're in store for a good one.
Today we'd like to talk to you about the MHSAA's Task Force on Multi-Sport Participation. The high school experience should feature a variety of activities inside and outside the academic classroom. For athletes, that should mean playing more than one sport. To that end, the MHSAA has established a multi-sport participation task force to promote that goal and its values. Among the strategies are schools hiring coaches who promote and practice multi-sport participation, schools, leagues, and conferences rewarding multi-sport participation, and emphasizing the health benefits of playing more than one sport. The notion of multi-sport participation has gained more traction of late as prominent college coaches, Hall of Fame baseball players, and even Olympians credit success in later life by playing several different sports in their youth. And the sports medicine community concurs, pointing out the cross-training values of multi-sports participation and the proven health hazards of specialization that is too early or too intense. The Multi-Sport Participation Task Force will continue its work in the months ahead to develop strategies that can be embraced by schools, coaches, parents, and student athletes. For more information, check out the health and safety page at MHSAA.com.
Welcome back to Clawson High School. We are getting ready for the team starters to be introduced. Well, as the players are getting introduced, we should probably go over that this is a battle for first place in the Max Silver play. Coach Horn is coming in with the 5-1 record, as we said in our intro, and she had to take over after Jennifer Pintek had to step down after paternity reasons. So she's hopefully coming out to start league play out 3-0 and capture first place in the match. She's very excited about how the team has turned up, especially with how young they are, having a lot of deep depth at sophomore class and only having a few senior leaders. Well, we're almost hoping tip-off, and you can feel the tension in the air. This is a highly anticipated game, and we have a pretty decent crowd on hand. Should be pretty exciting to watch. really looking for it to be a real defensive game, as that is what Coach Horn always preaches, as they preach a good defensive game. Wilbur Jones has been a veteran at Southlake High School. He's coming in with a 5-1 record, a 5-2 overall record. So looks like we're almost ready to get started. Renard Colesimo takes the opening tip, won by Clawson. Renard Colesimo with the ball up top now. Tipped away almost. Ball is stolen by number 20. Back down low. Kicked out looking to get everything set up. Long three off the iron and out of bounds. We have a very intense student section on hand tonight, as you can see. As the Trojans bring the ball back up, it's sophomore Renata Carlesimo with the ball. Down to Justice Biddle. Biddle looking, kicks out to Al. Nice pump fake by Al into the lane. Oh, just off. Justice with the rebound. Another rebound, in. Trojans hop out to an early 2-0 lead.
Looks like early on the Trojans are going with the
and a steal by Justice. Kicked out to Charlie. Al Werner again into the lane. Kicks out to Nada. Easy open jumper in for two. Renata Carlesimo.
It really looks like early on the Trojans are trying to apply pressure and going with a 4-in, 1-out set and trying to drive the ball.
Oh, and they cause another turnover by Southlake. Charlie Werner with the ball into the lane, and another easy two. This press is really getting to Southlake early.
Trojans 1-2-2 press is really causing problems.
And another turnover.
By putting pressure on that initial pass.
It's ruled an over and back call, but this Trojans defense has been pretty suffocating to begin the game. This press has been very lethal early on. Refs discussing something over who has possession of the ball, I believe. And now they're going to say it is Clawson basketball, overruling the over and back because of the turnover. Ball is inbounded from sister to sister. Al inbounds it to Charlie. Looking to set their offense down the middle of the lane, and Justice Biddle draws a foul, and she'll be going to the line for two.
Again, the Trojans drive the ball inside and find a lot of success doing that, getting to the rim most of the time early on.
Fouls on number 11, Nia Rogan. First foul tonight of the game. As Justice goes to shoot her 2 free throws. Banks in the first one. Hopefully she called it. Makes the stretch the lead to 7-0 for Clawson. Kelly Horn already giving some coaching tips off the bench. As Justice hits her second free throw, make the score 8-0 very early, not even 2 minutes into the game. Let's see how Southlake can handle the press. Here comes Maya Rogan up the floor with it, passes out to number 20, Crystal. Trying to find a way inside and draws a foul. Going to the line for 2 is Jamie Eaton.
It's pretty evident early on that Southlake is trying to push the ball up the court and get a quick shot.
Once they break the presses, they're looking for that quick shot, as you said. Let's see if she'll be able to knock these down. Back rim on the first. Getting ready for the second. Big turnout for tonight's game. A lot of students on hand. A lot of basketball players in the stands. And she hits the second one to make for their first points of the game. We have 6:09 remaining, and it is 8-1 Clawson. Renata Colesimo driving and kicking. Justice Biddle with the shot, just off. Rebounded by Maya Rogan. Ball tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay Southlake's ball. But that gives Clawson time to set up their zone. Seems to, as again, proven very effective early on in this game, as Southlake has had a hard time breaking, and they cause a 5-second call. That is again, just that suffocating press that Clawson has put on early on, and Southlake can't seem to find the answers to. Charlie Banner to inbound the ball for Clawson, kicks it to Renata. Renata for three, just off. Rebounded and stolen almost. Oh, it'll stay Southlake ball.
Renata Carlissimo stopped that break, but as you can see, again, the Southlake Cavaliers are really trying to push the ball here early on. The Trojans are going to have to be worried of that and get back on defense to prevent them from getting easy buckets.
And their point guard, Nia Rogan, is bringing up the ball. Oh, nice little dribble move, trying to escape the defender. Dribbles through, down, kicks it to Jamia Eaton, and the ball is stolen by Jill Wilford, but then turned right back over to Maya Rogan. A lot of turnovers that's been seen overall. And Maya draws a foul. That'll be her first on her. That'll be Alex Werner tagged with the foul. She's in the early foul trouble. Is that Al's second foul, not even 3 minutes into the game. So it looks like she'll be on the bench for the rest of the half.
As you said, we're not even 3 minutes into the game, but it's pretty evident the Trojans' defensive game plan is focused on Maya Rogan and trying to take it to her on defense instead of letting her take it to them.
Southlake finally looking to set up their offense. Ball tipped and stolen by Renata Carlissimo. Southlake is having a very hard time holding on to the ball early on here. Pressure applying on defense. Down to Leah Vesper, who checked in for Al Werner. Back up top. Charlie kicks it out, a little bit of a push there, but no comment. Renata Carlissimo with the three just off. It'll stay Southlake's ball. Let's see if Clawson's able to set up their press.
The Trojans were having their way in the first few minutes with that 4-in, 1-out set, getting any kind of penetration and kick that they wanted or an easy bucket at the basket. The Southlake has really slowed that down the last couple of possessions.
Southlake break through the press. Looking for somewhere to go. Another tip pass. And it will lead to another turnover. Defense is really playing a key role at the moment.
That's really good pressure there by Charlie Werner once the ball became dead and realizing once she picked up her dribble, she was all over her girl to create that turnover.
I'm sure Miss Kelly Horn. Oh, and a ball is, it's stolen. No, looked like a little bit of a broken play on the inbound, so Maya Rogan now has control of it for Southlake. Ball is kicked out to number 11, Nia Rogan, her sister. Dribble into the hole, and she'll cause a foul. She'll go to the line for two. Renata Carlissimo tagged with her first foul of the night.
Renata Carlissimo and Alex Werner are two really important players for Clawson and two players that they cannot afford to have to get in foul trouble if they want to contain number 3, Maya Rogan, tonight.
As you can see, Maya Rogan is the leader for Southlake, and she seems to be the main ball handler for the team. As off on the first free throw. Second one for Nia Rogan on the way. She misses the second one. Ball's batted around and lost. Oh, and it'll stay here. After the ball was batted around, it gets tipped out of bounds, but it'll remain Southlake ball. Going back out to Nia Rogan. And another turnover. Feels like they're nearing around 7 turnovers just in the first 4 minutes of the game tonight.
Well, even with those turnovers, Jack, we're seeing a lot of tip balls and deflections that are kicking the ball back to half court and making Southlake reset up in their possession.
Abby Lodato in for the game, in for the Trojans now. Trying to find somewhere, looks for Renato, ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Southlake ball, and let's see if Clawson will set up that lethal press that they've had early on today. Ball's inbound, pass goes to half court. Trying to find, yet another turnover.
Southlake is still looking to push the ball, but they're killing themselves right now by turning the ball over.
Overall, I just feel the pace of the game is what's really causing these turnovers. Feels like a very fast-paced game.
Yeah, it's obvious
Trying to
what
press.
Southlake wants to do. They want to play really fast, and they're not going to shy away from doing that.
And Abelrado breaks the scoring drought for an easy jumper from the free throw line to make the score 10-1. And man, once again, this Trojan press is just, they haven't found an answer to the press yet, Nate.
Yeah, Wilbur Jones might need to call a timeout because it doesn't look like they have a press breaker game plan for this at all right now.
So we will see. We will see. It's like another long pass to inbound. I mean, this Trojans defense has been the definition of suffocating in this first quarter. We'll see if they'll be able to hold it up for 4 quarters as Renata Colesimo gets tapped up with a reach-in foul.
Now Renata and Al both have 2. That might become a big problem for the Trojans.
We'll see how the both ends of the floor hold up. But now Renata and Al with 2 fouls.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Coach Horn's strategy with this, whether she trusts the players not to pick up that 3rd foul or she chooses to go to her bench.
Ball's inbound, and there was no sub for Renata right away, so she's going to let her off for a little bit more. Ball to number 20, Crystal Horn on the wing, looking for somewhere to go, and another turnover.
Yeah, this Clawson defensive pressure is really causing Southlake a lot of problems right now, and it looks like Southlake's trying to give it right back to him.
Ball inbounded to number 3, Aaliyah Vesper. Passes out to number 32, Natalie Champagne into the game. Out to Justice Biddle. Swinging the ball around up top, looking to set something up. With that 4 out, 1 in offense right now. Renata in the lane, passes out, tipped away, but recovered by Leah. Over to Abby Legato and to Justice Biddle.
On these Trojan drives, the Southlake help is coming a little late, or they're not keeping their eye on their own man, which is opening the room for some backdoor cuts or some easy kickouts and open shots.
Natalie Champagne to the line, shooting 2 for the Trojans as she drew the foul.
The Trojans are getting to the court with a little bit too much ease right now, and that's really what they want to do. It's their game plan, and that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, Natalie Champagne hits her first to extend the Trojans' lead to double digits here in the first quarter as Abby Legato checks, or no, I think Ava McNeil checks in for Renata Carlesimo.
Look for Ava McNeil to be absolutely suffocating on defense.
Oh, wide open person down the lane. Oh, and just off.
Again, though, that's what Southlake really wants to do, and the Trojans really need to be wary of that because those shots will start falling eventually.
Easy pass down to Leah Vesper just off the rim. Battle for it. Possessed by Southlake. Another long outlet pass. And another foul, and this one will be on Justice Biddle as Southlake will go to the line for 2 more.
It's obvious here in the opening quarter that Southlake is a really fast team, and the Trojans are containing them really well in the half-court sets right now, but they could really cause problems on the fast break if they get those long stretch outlet passes.
Shooting their 5th and 6th free throws on the night. They've only made 1 so far as that's their lone point. As they break that trend, and then she hits the first to make it back to single digits. Number 12, Delea Horn, shooting the free throws for Southlake. And she hits both to make it an 8-point game here with just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Ball's inbounded to Aaliyah Vesper as now Southlake puts up a little bit more pressure. Pass down to Natalie Champagne. Oh, her body hits the floor. No call. Kicked out to Aaliyah, swung to Justice. A long shot just off to the left. Aaliyah looking, searching, back out to Abby for a jump shot, and it's good. Making the score back to double digits. It'll be 13-3.
That's one thing the Trojans have done very well.
Justice Biddle with the steal. Dumps down to Ava McNeil for a layup, and that'll make it a 12-point lead.
Along with this pressure the Trojans are getting on defense, they're also doing a very good job of getting second points off of offensive rebounds.
Oh, risky foul as Justice is a little bit aggressive there going for the ball.
That's 3 very important Clawson players with 2 fouls, and it looks like Miss Horn sends Jill Wyford right to the table to get in there for Justice Biddle, and I was too.
Refs are talking something over before this. It'll remain Southlake ball. Another long outlet down number 12. She goes up, no call. Very nice defense, but then the pass goes out of bounds and it'll be back to Southlake. Turnovers seem to be the story of this first quarter.
Yeah, Clawson started off being the one that applied the pressure very early on, but in the last few minutes, Southlake has really given it back to him, and it's causing a couple problems for the Trojans now.
Ball's inbounded to Nia Rogan. Pass now to Crystal Horn. She goes to the lane looking for two. Rebounded by Natalie Champagne. Another missed pass. A lot of miscommunications tonight from Clawson. And we get a travel. Turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. I think we'll be saying that a lot tonight.
Yeah, Clawson's got a little antsy in the last few minutes. You can see Ms. Horn on the sideline and calming her team down a little bit.
Ava McNeil to inbound for the Trojans. Looking for somewhere. Southlake now applying a press, and they get a tip pass out of bounds. It'll remain Clawson ball, but you are right. Tables have turned for who's applying pressure now, and Southlake's really getting after it.
Yeah, it's a straight-up man-to-man press, which makes a lot of sense for this very athletic Southlake team.
Ball is inbounded to Charlie Vernon, and she has a lane down the side of the court. Oh, we got a foul called on the floor. No shot, no shot.
That's the one problem with that man-to-man press is once one person gets beat, another girl has to slide over and help defense, causing another Trojans player to be open if they run the floor properly.
Now to inbound, we'll see there in a stack. Ivy Lodato for another jump shot, and it's good. Making it 17-3, and man, the jumper early for Ivy Lodato seems to be going.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play.
And another turnover. Charlie Verner with the length. Abby going back in looking for more, and she just off. Out to Natalie Champagne for an easy two.
It's another offensive rebound for the Trojans that gives another easy 2 points. That's one of the reasons they have a 19-3 lead early on in this game.
Ball going all over the place. Back down, no foul called. Out of bounds. 30 was out of bounds.
Great pressure there by Jill Lyford in the post to cause that turnover.
15 seconds left in the first quarter, and I think Kelly Horn may not look at it right now, but she must be pretty pleased with how the first quarter has went for her team.
Looks like the Trojans are just trying to use a simple cross screen flash to the middle to get everyone open on the spread.
Natalie Champagne wide open for the layup, and it's good.
That's a beautiful job there by Champagne to get straight down the court once you saw Lodato going full speed ahead for that easy layup right there.
Unless she makes this, it looks like that'll be our end of the first quarter scores. Clawson 21, Southlake 3.
And just like their last game at Warren Woods Tower, Clawson jumps out to an 18-point first quarter lead.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first I just did basketball and I got hooked. Before long I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids, and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
And we're back for the start of the second quarter. And we're back for the start of the second quarter with the Trojans coming out to an astonishing 21-3 lead after the first quarter.
Hopefully the Trojans don't look to take their foot off the pedal because the Southlake team is more than capable of getting back in this game in a hurry.
Yeah, you never know. Runs are runs, and as much people don't believe in momentum, it really can be a game-turning thing.
Trojans can't play much better than they did in the first quarter, so hopefully if they go through a rush path, they don't put their head down too much and quit playing hard.
Not much better, but there still was room for improvement in that first quarter.
That's true.
still was some sloppy passes. I'm sure there's always little things to clean up to play a more perfect game. Defensive pressure, though, Southlake hasn't been able to get past the three-point line yet. Finds it into the lane, going for two, and they get it. Finally get some much-needed points, hopefully to get them jump-started into this game. Abby Lodato, sophomore point guard, bringing the ball up. Kicks it to Charlie Werner, and that's where they're finding their success, as you've said. Oh, and a big block down the middle, and a foul will be going down, and it'll be on Ava McNeil.
Ava McNeil got to the middle of the floor really easily right there, and it didn't result in a bucket that time, but that's what the Trojans have been doing all game long.
Trojans have been very strong off the dribble tonight. Once they catch the ball off that wing, they've been able to penetrate fairly easily. But with that foul trouble and aggressiveness of the Clawson defense, Southlake's already in the bonus, and they will be shooting 1-and-1s for the rest of the second quarter.
I would expect to see Southlake at the line a lot this second quarter. They're very quick and athletic, and it seems to be causing the Trojans a lot of problems keeping up with them. They're reaching in with their hands or coming in late on help defense, which is causing them to get into foul trouble.
She misses the front end, but an offensive rebound and another easy layup as Southlake jumps out to an easy 21-7, or jumps out to a 4-0 run to start the second quarter.
As Delia Horn with both of those buckets, she's looking dangerous right now for the Southgate Cavaliers.
Kelly Horn was putting her case that she thought it was a basketball play. Oh, and Abby Lodato drives and grabs another foul. She'll be going to the line for two.
It's a nice job by Abby Lodato getting to the basket right there and going up strong.
I believe she had a total of 6 points in the first quarter. Had some nice jump shots, and then also finding a way to the line now. Trojans have only missed one free throw tonight. And they missed the first of two. Getting ready for the second. Saw a bit of an announcer's jinx there on my part. I'm sorry about that. And she misses the second. Rebounded. Very aggressive coming off though for Clawson. Still looking for the offensive board. Nia Rogan bringing the ball up. Dishes it off. No call for a travel. Ball gets off. Offensive boards have been the story of this game now for both sides. They've caused the second chance points have probably accumulated for almost half the total points in the game.
That's Delia Horn again going on a nice little 6-0 run of her own to get the Southlake Cavaliers back into this game.
And the two Trojans in foul trouble are both checking back in as there's another turnover. Natalie Champagne drops the pass, and then the ball is turned right back over to Abby Lodato. And another turnover. It's just a lot of things got to be cleaned up so far in this game. Pass down low, and another turnover.
It's a really fast-paced game so far, which naturally there's going to be a lot of turnovers. It's whatever team cleans it up first that's going to pull away in this game, or in Southlake's case, get back into it.
With that stoppage in play, Al Verner and Renata Kalesima both check back into the game. I think the pace of play needs to slow down a little bit so teams can be more in control of what they want to do. It just seems like nobody's playing to their strengths right now. It's just a very fast-paced game as Renata finds a way to the lane, drawing another foul. Fouls are starting to whack up early here.
The Trojans are very good in their half-court side. It's been evident early on. They pretty much get what they want when they get set up in that 4-out, 1-in set, and get the ball to the middle of the court to look for a kick-out pass or an easy drive to the basket. Southlake, who really wants to play fast.
And now in foul trouble for Southlake, number 3, Nia Rogan, has 3. And
Southlake's the one who really wants to play fast, and the Trojans are trying to play at their pace. It's just not their game.
Renata Kalesimo shooting the second of her free throws. Barely grazes the rim. Trojans have now missed 4 free throws when they're left to a hot start from the line. You can see the main ball handler for Southlake is number 3, Maya Rogan. She seems to be in control of the offense for Southlake.
Justice Biddle did a great job of stopping that fast break right there, which allows the Trojans to get set up in their half-court defense again. And there's Renata Carlosimo with another deflection.
Ball down low. No good. Offensive board, no good. Tipped out. Oh! Ball rebounded by Charlie Werner. And Southlake looked like they wanted a push off there, but I think that was just a good hustle play by Charlie. And now they'll tag Justice Biddle for a travel as she's lost control of the ball. Kelly Horn is upset about something on that last play. And now we get a much needed first timeout from Wilbur. With that full timeout, we'll send you guys the break.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
And we're back after the full timeout taken by Southlake as they've come out and have cut the lead down to 21-9 early in the second quarter, but it seems to be at a stalemate of points after some missed free throws and not very many shots looking to fall.
I wonder if Coach Jones will take this opportunity in this timeout to draw up a set play in that huddle, try to get Southlake an easy bucket here.
Looks like they weren't applying the half-court pressure, but Clawson seems to be in a straight man-to-man. Maya Jones with a three attempt just off the mark, and Al Verner comes down with a rebound. Falling on the ball, no call called. We'll see, we get a jump ball call, and it'll be going back down to Clawson. Wow. Looks like some of Clawson's own Tristan Perry getting very into the game. Getting a couple laughs from the Clawson crowd. Justice Biddle with the ball in the corner, looking, and she draws a foul. 13 fouls now in the first half, which may not seem like a lot, but the whistle's been blowing a lot tonight.
I'm really surprised Wilbur Jones hasn't made an adjustment here for his man-to-man defense of Southlake and taking away that middle court for Clawson, because that's the only place they seem to want to go.
Or maybe even switching into a zone and getting that woman and the girl in the middle, maybe stop that penetration, but it seems like
Clawson hasn't made a single three yet tonight, so I don't see why he wouldn't switch to his zone and try to force the Trojans to shoot the threes that they haven't proven to make yet.
And right now, the Clawson's hit a drought at the free throw line as they have now missed 5 in a row. Justice Biddle hoping to end that streak right here. No good, but a good offensive rebound by Jill Lilford, and she knows what to do. She goes right back out and sets the offense back up. Leadership play by the junior. Renata Colesmo easy into the lane, and that's the weak spot all night for Southlake, is right in the middle of that lane as she takes advantage of it for 2 more. Southlake at least does a little bit better on the press, gets it down, and looks like strong defensive, and we have a traveling call, and it'll stay with Southlake. It looked like that both players were traveled up with the ball, but the ref saw that Clawson had control and has blew the whistle and called the travel on Jill. Clawson's still up by 14, feeling in a comfortable lead, but you can never really feel too comfortable in a game this early.
Oh no, it's only a 14-point game.
Another strong defensive possession, forcing a deep press out. And we get a kick ball violation. It'll remain Southlake ball.
There's Charlie Verner all over number 3, Maya Rogan, yet again. The Trojans are putting heavy pressure on her early on.
Right now, there's 3 sophomores in the game for Clawson, and a lot of these sophomores played varsity as freshmen too, and they've seen some quality minutes and have gotten some nice experience.
Well, it's not an inexperience problem. It's a youth movement. All these girls played significant roles on varsity last year, and so they're really comfortable on varsity right now. Is that their growing pains are pretty much all gone. They're only going to continue to get more skilled and better as they get deeper into their high school careers.
Another strong defensive cut, and able to draw another foul, and 2 more shots will be on the way. The fans pleading their displeasure with the call, but cannot change that now. The junior Jill Lyford getting tagged with her first foul of the night. And it seems that to disrupt the free throw, the fans are cheering happy birthday. That was something I was not expecting to hear tonight. And now they're singing Mary Had a Little Lamb. Some very interesting choices, but that one doesn't work as she drills the second free throw. Southlake's press gets broken up pretty easily and they're right back down the court. Al Verner down to Jill, and a nice pass just tipped out of bounds, but another turnover for Clawson.
Before that turnover right there, I really liked how the Trojans broke a press. Instead of letting Southlake get set up, they inbounded the ball very quickly and didn't even have to run a set play to get the ball to the court rather easily.
No erratic passes came from that. Maya Rogan into the lane, and she draws yet another foul, and that'll be Clawson's 9th of the half, and there's still 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, Clawson can't let that happen when Maya Rogan has the ball. There's obviously miscommunication on who had her, and that caused Jill Leifer to pick up her second foul because she was late getting over.
And now the key player at the line, Maya Rogan. Let's see if she can cut the line. Man, these Clawson fans really did bring it tonight, as it seems like nursery songs seem to be the theme tonight.
It's a very interesting theme, but as a fellow basketball player myself, that would really distract me at the line.
Now it looks like a little education session going on as they are reassuring that everybody knows their ABCs. And it seems to work as she misses both. But the offensive board and a big block, as we stated before, and everybody is going nuts. Al Verner, but the ball is turned right back over, and Southlake coming back to the lane. And a foul is drawn on Charlie Verner, but her sister Al just came up with a very big block. And like we said, Al Verner leads the team in blocks with a season high 10 against Our Lady of the Lakes earlier this season.
As you saw there, off that turnover on the Trojans fast break, Southlake instantly looked to turn that into a fast break and get easy offense by getting a layup and a foul.
You just cannot get caught up in the moment. You got to play at the pace of the game, but free throws and turnovers seem to be the story of this one early on, as neither team seems to be able to consistently hit.
That last foul also put Southlake into the double bonus, so I have to be worried of that in these last 3:06 of the first half.
And she missed a second free throw. It seems like a very long outlet pass, and yet another turnover.
It might be time for Coach Holden to call a timeout right here and just regroup her girls real quick.
It would not be a bad time for one. It seems like her girls are not playing as composed as they should be with a 13-point lead. It seems like they're playing at the pace of Southlake, which is never good when you play to the pace of your opponent. And looks like Coach Jones is going to call another 30-second timeout for Southlake. And we will be right back.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
And we're back. Southlake coming off with the ball. Maya Rogan, bringing the ball up to Southlake, hoping to get this lead back to a 10-point lead. Nice pass, but intercepted by Al Verner.
It's an interesting look for Southlake in the half court going to a horn set right
nice
there.
Nice crossover. She sets it up and sets it back out. Now Abby Lodato, point guard with the ball. Looking for space, goes to the lane. No call. And it's out of bounds to Southlake. Just looked like a little uncomposure there going to the lane and seems to cause her to fall over. But now Clawson's backing set up in their press. Southlake's able to get it past the half court pretty easily, but can they handle it? Looking for a travel call. The ball spits back out past half court. It looks like we're looking at another turnover.
Southlake's doing a really good job, particularly here in the second quarter, of adjusting to that. Well, it looks like a 1-2-1-1 from the Trojans and getting the ball to the middle of the court and then instantly turning around and hitting the wings and getting the fast break started.
Ball inbounded to Al Verner, swatted away for a second. Ball now a sloppy pass down to Charlie. Al Verner back up top as she drives through the lane. And one. Count that baby in a foul, Nate.
Yes, sir. It's been rather easy for the Trojans when they get set up in their offense, but all the credit in the world to these Trojan guards that keep driving to the basket, but Southlake has to adjust.
And now the lead's back out to 15 for the Trojans as Al Verner looks to shoot her second. Ref goes down to tie his shoe. Al Verner hopefully to complete the and one here and extend the lead to 16 for Clawson. Does not do that, but looks like another trying to crash the offensive boards. The ball goes out of bounds and it'll be Southlake ball. I'm not sure very many people would have expected a 15-point lead this early in the game for Clawson with the tails of the tape. Another easy pass down, and Southlake just like that quickly breaks the press and cuts that lead right back down to 13.
That's what Southlake's going to try to do to you all night. They know how fast and athletic they are, and they're going to push that ball down the court.
Abby Lodato back with the ball. Now to Ava McNeil, another sophomore on this team. Down to Charlie on the wing. Very swinging and fast-moving offense as Leah Vesper takes a little floater off the glass for two.
Again, the Trojans get set up in a half-court offense, run and play, and it's another easy basket.
Kelly Horn using her full timeout. And with that full timeout, after taking a 15-point lead, there's only 1:27 left in the second quarter. As we'll see what Kelly Horn has to draw up defensively, or maybe if this was just a regroup to maybe get some more baskets before the end of the half here.
It's a very interesting game to watch because you have two teams with contrasting styles, and Southlake who really succeeds when they push the ball up the floor to try to get easy layups and buckets and get to the free throw line, opposed to Clawson who can push the ball off the court, but aren't nearly as successful doing it. But when they get set up in their half-court sets and run plays, they're very successful at getting to the basket.
Yeah, that has been the theme, but also a very common theme tonight has been the turnover story. Very many turnovers on the night for both teams. Even with Clawson being up by 15, they could be up by a lot more if they clean things up.
Well, that's one of the things that's naturally going to come along by playing at a fast pace. You can't play at a fast pace and not expect to turn the ball over at a higher rate than a team that plays slower. So when you play a team like Southlake and you start to get into this back and forth track meet, you're going to see a lot of turnovers because people are going to play fast and make a lot of mistakes. It's just who can overcome those and be the least sloppy that's usually going to come out on top.
And we're back in play here. Southlake hoping to get some type of rhythm offensively to maybe cut this lead down to single digits or at least cut it down to a smaller amount than what they have right now. Ball's kicked out. Looking inside, another quick pass inside, and a big block by Aaliyah Vesper.
It looks like Clawson switched to a 2-3 zone right there, but they're not sitting back in that zone. They're really going after the Southlake ball handlers. And really, and Natalie Champagne was really aggressive on that girl in the middle, not letting her get the ball into the post easily.
Aaliyah Vesper looking for the look. She gets the ball back, gets it to Ava McNeil for an easy jumper. Offensive boards crashing. Aaliyah with the rebound. And ball is out of bounds.
It's good to see the Trojans get back onto the offensive boards like they were for most of the first quarter. That's where a lot of success came from.
Yeah, we'll see if that continues in the second half, but it's very nice to see the offensive boards. As just a ball just rolls out there for Clawson. Another turnover. Intercepted by Abby Lodato. Looks for Charlie Verner inside, but it'll be going down back to Southlake after a little bit of a risky pass there.
That was a great play by Abby Lodato. The passer of that ball had no clue she was coming. She picked it off with ease.
It really does look like turnovers and more. It just seems like they keep going throughout the game exponentially. But
yeah, another interesting thing here is it looks like Clawson's going back to their man-to-man defense after going to that 2-3 defense after the timeout.
And would you believe it? We have 2 carry calls in this game now. I can't remember the last time I've seen that, especially with the way refs call them nowadays. Abby Lodato with the ball, looking to close out. Clawson looking for the final shot of the half. Abby dribbles it off her leg. Double team, and the ball turned over to the lane, and they get the buzzer beater.
It's a great play by DeLeo Horn right there, who now has 8 points in this
And
quarter.
at the halftime score, 27-14, we'll come back to you for a halftime after the break.
Today we're going to introduce you to the MHSAA's Coaches Advancement Program. 30 years ago, the MHSAA began its first coaches education program to address the large influx of non-faculty coaches directing educational athletic teams. Today, the Coaches Advancement Program, or CAP, has grown into one of the nation's top and first face-to-face educational program geared to assist coaches in their growth and development. CAP gives coaches everything except the X's and O's of their sport, dealing with the practical and philosophical issues of coaching high school sports. Over 3,000 individuals annually attend CAP training sessions, most receiving beginning and intermediate certifications studying numerous topics. But a growing number stay in the program to earn advanced certification and study not just the basics, but current issues affecting educational athletics. If you want to learn more about the Coaches Advancement Program, visit the MHSAA website.
Today we'd like to talk to you about the MHSAA's Task Force on Multi-Sport Participation. The high school experience should feature a variety of activities inside and outside the academic classroom. For athletes, that should mean playing more than one sport. To that end, the MHSAA has established a multi-sport participation task force to promote that goal and its values. Among the strategies are schools hiring coaches who promote and practice multi-sport participation, schools, leagues, and conferences rewarding multi-sport participation, and emphasizing the health benefits of playing more than one sport. The notion of multi-sport participation has gained more traction of late as prominent college coaches, Hall of Fame baseball players, and even Olympians credit success in later life by playing several different sports in their youth. And the sports medicine community concurs, pointing out the cross-training values of multi-sports participation and the proven health hazards of specialization that is too early or too intense. The Multi-Sport Participation Task Force will continue its work in the months ahead to develop strategies that can be embraced by schools, coaches, parents, and student athletes. For more information, check out the health and safety page at MHSAA.com.
Michigan Student Aid is the go-to resource for student financial aid in the state of Michigan. For more information, visit our website, www.michigan.gov/MyStudentAid, or follow us on social media at MyStudentAid.
Lead the break, Hallie Marshall again with the pump fake. It's a patented move. Covio back inside, using her body frame. Off the window and the foul. Part of a 9-0 run, Grant Long.
A interesting back and forth right there. Good execution by St. Agnes. They get the ball to their premier player, Covio. She scores on the inside. On the other side of that, we saw Lenaway going one-on-one. They have not had the success that they've had in the past. So they're going to maybe have to change up some things. Coach Salenbein may have to get instrumental in calling some plays on the other end.
Now Danny with 8 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. The hold for the last shot. She looks to move, gets in the lane, off the window, tough shot. Wow. Off the dribble into the corner. Using the left hand to the baseline. Danny Salenbein. Is that 8 straight? She's just a sophomore. She'll have an opportunity to play at the next level. 10 seconds remaining, third quarter. It's a 3-point lead for the Cougars from Adrian Lenaway Christian. In the lane. Oh! Hallie Marshall. Big shot there to close the quarter. 4 seconds left. Emily Hart gets the shot, but that's it. That's it. Sweet repeat. Triple try from Soleil Barnes. Look out.
There's that NBA influence once again.
They'll look to reset.
Good
Pat
pass.
McCartney. They call it big shot now. That's a big one right there to stretch the lead to 6.
Cross-court pass, wide open teammate.
We talked about some foul issues earlier. Alexis Johnson, she had 2 early. She's now sitting with 3 personal fouls. That could loom large. Meanwhile, Lolo Reed steps into a triple.
They've got to get a stop and a conversion on the other end.
McCartney keeps her dribble. Nifty maneuver. And on a busted play, able to get a bucket underneath from Kiani Champion.
Hey, there's the picture of composure right there.
Lolo Reed back to Mallory McCartney.
Willing to take a little bit more time off the clock. Great pass.
Good look inside. And they got what they wanted. Kiani Champion.
Nicely done. Perfect execution. Displayed the patience that you needed.
Down to Cheyenne McEvans. Back over to Soleil.
Good pass. Inside out. I like that one.
Great look underneath with the extra pass.
Now, that's a good possession for Southfield A&T. This is a big basket.
3 minutes remaining. Here's some of the fans in here yelling, move, move. Nice knife through the lane from Cheyenne McEvans.
Nicely done, but wasn't it?
Hawks can tie it with the 2. Tart going to the Clawson one time.
Coast to coast, that was very nice.
Rusty driving all the way to the rack.
That was a beautiful handoff, and she attacked the basket nicely. Nice cut.
Bauer kicks. Another kick, open 3. Galen missed it. Long rebound, and PW's got another shot.
That's a big offensive rebound. We didn't have any in the first.
Phelan, 2.
And that's the counter of that. If there is a collapse down on defense, then you got to find the open shot, and then that's what she did. She made it.
Great D by Jackson as well. Tart slows it up. Ryan Tart scored 5 points in the state semifinal game. Trashandra Williams, and she got the roll.
That was
Hun launches. Offensive rebound, another chance. Nuremberg driving. She finished left-handed.
You might want to throw a double team on Dusty because she's breaking him down too easily.
Oh, the rainbow 3 is down for Hannah Spitzley.
That was from deep.
PW has been close to this spot the last couple of years. Tart finishes on the other end.
Coast to coast.
She has 12 in this game. She has played fantastic.
And another steal.
Still scored on the double team. It's over. History in Grand Rapids. For the first time in program history, Bravo Westphalia has won a state championship in girls basketball.
And we're back with second half action with Clawson on top 27-14. Southlake opening the second half with the ball. Very impressive first quarter for Clawson. Like I said, they hopped out to a quick 21-3 lead in the first quarter. Free throws have been a struggle for both teams as they've been a combined 7 for 23 at the line.
It looks like the Trojans came out with the 2-3 zone here in the second half, maybe trying to confuse the Cavaliers.
Southlake comes out with an easy bucket off the glass. It is 27-16 now. Back to an 11-point game, the closest they've been since the first quarter.
Looks like Southlake looked to put up man-to-man at half court right there to try to apply some pressure on the Trojans ball handlers.
Oh, they get a poke and a takeaway. Southlake pushing the floor. It doesn't look like it's a 3-on-2. A little bit of a mishandled pass and tipped away. Way to get back for the Trojans defense to handle that break.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Leia Horn didn't shoot that.
And the first made three of the game cuts the lead down back to single digits. And it makes the score 27-19.
I believe Delea's sister, number 20, Crystal Horn, has the first 5 points of these half, and she was dangerous early on here.
Bernard Colesimo looks to Justice, looking to get set up. Another drive to the lane. Justice looks, and a clean block, and it's not a good start if you're Clawson, but a great start for Southlake.
Here comes the Cavs pushing the ball yet again.
And we get a foul call. Looks like this one will go on Justice Biddle. It might be her third, but only the first of the second half.
That's the same problem the Cavaliers pushing the ball up the court has caused problems for the Trojans all game long, and it's what got them into foul trouble in the first half.
Hopefully the aggressive play goes down a little bit and the foul trouble stays low, because that could very well end up being a problem, as you said.
Yeah, it looks like Miss Horn instantly sent Aaliyah Vesper to the table to go check in for Justice Biddle.
Trojans looking like they're playing a little bit of an off-man defense at the moment. Hopefully not allowing anything to the middle. Little cut play, cut off by Charlie. Nice defense there. Another three. And man, those threes can be lethal, especially in a tight game like this. They could turn a game real quick. Justice Biddle with their aggressiveness, drawing the early blocking foul.
Number 3, Maya Rogan, is definitely the Southlake Cavaliers' most talented player, but the Trojans managed to hold it at only 2 points in the first half, and not a single field goal, with both of those points coming off of free throws.
We'll see if Clawson can get a bucket here to put their lead to double digits as Aaliyah Vesper finally checks into the game. Bernard Colesimo ball handling at the top now. They're looking to set up their offense. Get a little cross to Aaliyah. The ball is tipped away and another turnover. This is not what you want to see if you're Clawson early on. Not a very good floater attempt. And rebounded by Al Verner. They can push. They do have a 2-on-1, 3-on-2 now as they get in. But Renata Colesimo takes it all the way to the root. Jill battling, and it looks like we're going to get a foul call.
That's a beautiful job there by number 14, Jill Leifer, to seal her defender off on Renata Carlosimo's way to the basket to get an easy layup. Then they instantly go back up and get an offensive rebound and force a foul by the Cavs.
Number 20, Crystal Horn, called for the foul, and she didn't seem to agree with that. She thought she was asking for a jump ball. Ball kicked out to Al Verner. Pump fakes the three, drives to the lane. Misses the floor. Another offensive rebound by Jill, just off. Another offensive board, this time by Al Verner. This time an easy mid-ranger for Aaliyah Vesper. Another ball tipped out. And the outlets are going to... Another outlet pass by Southlake. Kicked out. And they get the and one.
Southlake is really pushing the ball here early on in the second half, and it's causing a lot of problems for the Trojans, forcing them into fouls to give Southlake easy points at the line, and there an easy one for Delea Horn.
Once the points get put up there, I think the bucket will count, and if so, that'll lead to Southlake starting out the quarter in the second half to a 7-0 run. This is not what you want to see if you're Kelly Horn.
That's because the Trojans got up. Southlake's way too an explosive team to ever quit. They can score in bunches like they are early on here in the second half.
And we said that early in the second quarter as she drills drills the end one.
Delea Horn now has 9 points to lead the Cavs.
And as we said early in the second quarter, this game, just because they were up early, doesn't mean it can't change in a heartbeat. And you can really feel the momentum shift as Southlake's gaining a little bit more confidence, and the defense isn't as suffocating at the moment for Clawson.
No, I'm surprised the Trojans didn't start aggressive off here in the second half like they did in the first.
And a very mishap there as the ball goes right off of Abby Legato. Again, not looking for the ball, and it goes right off her fingers.
If it's a Cavaliers score here, I'd be shocked if Coach Horn didn't call a timeout to get her girls back together.
And it's very crucial and a very common theme throughout all the games that the first 5 minutes or so, the first couple minutes of the second half are the most important, which can lead the momentum for the rest of the game.
Not even the first 5 minutes of the second half, but also what happens leading into halftime. And you can argue that Southlake was a better team for the second half of that second quarter, and that's obviously carried on early into the third quarter.
Obviously only holding Clawson to 6 points, and Clawson hasn't had a bucket since midway through the second quarter. Southlake looking. cut back down to Maya Davis. Easily looks for the mid-range, just off. Offensive rebounds. Another offensive rebound, tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay with Southlake. But man, offensive rebounds, turnovers, and pace of play have seemed to be the real keys to today's game.
Yeah, and Southlake's playing their style and the way they want to play, and that's why they're on a 17-6 run here ever since the start of that second quarter, after the Trojans jumped out to an early 21-3 lead.
Southlake looking another mid-range. It looks like it got tipped, but we'll see. It'll be out on Southlake trying to save the ball, but that shot looked like it may have been tipped.
This is a very important possession here for the Trojans. It would be huge for them if they got a bucket.
Wilbur Jones seems to be unhappy about something with the referees, trying to plead his case about something that just took place. Another tip pass, man. I mean, seems like the length of Southlake or just them being able to move. The passes not sticking to the motto, fake one to make one. They're not very faking one.
I give Coach Jones from Southlake a lot of credit. It looks like he made some adjustments to get his girls back into the game after Clawson really took it to him early on.
Looks like number 20 has some interesting tactics to try to break that up as another turnover for the Trojans. Turnovers early and not resulting in very many points, or not any so far. Nice ball movement. No basket on the floor before the shot, so the basket will not count.
Again, that was a great job there by number 3, Maya Rogan, to push the ball up to the floor, eventually laying it off to Crystal Horn, who almost dumped it off to her sister for another easy 2-point basket in transition for the Cavs.
And there's the much-needed timeout we were anticipating from Kelly Horn as she takes it with 4:17 left in third. And with the 8-0 run that Southlake has started the second half on, this game has become a game very quickly.
Yeah, it has.
During this timeout, it's a very crucial part in the game for the Trojans because it seems like they haven't scored a bucket in a while, and Southlake has taken full momentum of this game.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the Trojans right now seems to be mentally. They can easily assert themselves back into the game if they choose to.
We'll see if this timeout changes it, but it's, as you can say, as a player, it's sometimes hard to even break out of that spell for a little bit.
It is, but when you have a great coach like Miss Horn, she's going to make adjustments to make sure her Trojans are going to get back into the game. But the Trojans probably aren't going to blow this game back open. It's going to be very competitive down the stretch.
It's all going to come down to if they can play some suffocating defense, and if that press, if they decide to go back to it, can begin to show its pride again.
Well, back in that first half when they were playing that very suffocating man-to-man defense, we saw a lot of deflections by the Trojans even when they weren't getting steals, and they haven't got a whole lot of deflections, and then I can't remember the last time they had a steal.
Well, they almost got one there, but Southlake has now made it a three-point game. And at the start of the first quarter, I don't think you would have been able to say that.
Coach Horn is fuming right now. She feels like the Southlake screen setters are having their way and moving their feet on the Trojans defenders.
And Southlake, I mean, it's really felt like more than 4 minutes, but they've quickly turned this game as Abelardado trying to find that much-needed bucket. Ball scramble for it. Nobody want to get on the floor, but it seems a foul is going to be called going down on the Trojans. Abby Lodato, the sophomore, tagged with the foul. But, man, it is not looking good early on. And they're already at 4 fouls, and if they get to in that 5 to 6 range by the end of the third, could be looking at another bonus situation for the Cavs.
Coach Horn is really laying into the ref right in front of us. She feels like the Southlake post players are really.
And there's the much-needed steal that you said. Al Verner kicks it up to Aaliyah Vesper, looking for somewhere to go. And she'll draw the foul, and hopefully they can break the scoring drought, as it's been over 7 minutes since the last points for the Trojans.
That's a great aggressive take for Aaliyah Vesper right there. Now it's very important for her to knock down these 2 free throws and break the scoreless Trojan third quarter.
Refs seem to be laying in or making a comment about players making comments about every play. Seems like it's getting a little bit more chippy out there since the game has grown in intensity.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see someone get teed up just to prove a point before this game is over.
And Aaliyah Vesper is unable with that free throw attempt to break that drought, but we shall see. Second free throw on the way, and I mean,
Natalie Champagne checks in for the game for the Trojans. She was a very important part of that first half run, and she had led the team with 5 points.
Leah Vesper can't hit the second either, and no offensive board. The ball is tipped around and controlled by Natalie Champagne. Abby looking to go in, grabs a rebound, and I'm not sure if that one hit anything, but the ball will be going down.
Trojans just can't buy a bucket right now, but they need to get to the basket and be aggressive, get an easy one, and not settle for outside shots.
Over 4.5 minutes, and we're seeing a completely different Clawson team in the second half. They're not attacking the bucket as much as they were, and it doesn't seem like much is happening at the moment. But they get a much-needed turnover there, so hopefully Clawson can make something of it.
I'm surprised with this run that Southlake's on. They're not resorting back to that man-to-man press that gave the Trojans some problems, especially at the later end of that second half.
Yeah, maybe they'll play some suffocating half-court defense, but we'll see as they're back to their 4-in, 1-out. Or 4-out, 1-in offense. Abby O'Donnell nowhere to go, gives it off to Charlie Werner, out to Natalie Champagne. Kicks back to Abby on the wing. Seems a little, spacing's a little bit getting clumped. Jill Leifer with a mid-range, still no break of the scoring drought. Scrum for the ball, but Southlake comes out with it.
It's obvious Coach Jones made adjustments to that Cavs man-to-man defense at halftime, and it's making a huge difference by they're not letting the Trojans get to the middle nearly as easy, and they're obviously not helping as much as they were used to because their defenders not getting burnt, and so that kickout's not there, and the open shots aren't there, and the easy layups aren't falling off those backdoor cuts.
Hopefully Clawson can finally break their scoring drought because it has felt like a little bit, and they haven't scored a point in the second half.
No, it's very uncharacteristic for these Trojans.
Hopefully Abby Dotto gives it off to Natalie Champagne. Kicks it out to Charlie. Back to Aaliyah Vesper. Aaliyah looking for somewhere in the middle. Gets blocked partially, and they go for the rebound. And they're calling another foul, and it's going down on the Trojans. The foul will be tagged to number 3, Aaliyah Vesper. Her first foul of the night on Aaliyah. Looking like a little three-quarters court press, but Southlake easily breaks it. Number 10 for the Cavs, Taylor Kelly, in for the game, seemed to be handling the ball. As it looks like we'll get another foul underneath on number 14, Jill Leifert, tagged with the foul around. And we're right back to where they were in the first half with the foul situation, one foul away from being back in the bonus.
It's the same problem they had in the first half with those quick Cavs guards. They were getting very handsy, poking at the ball, and it's causing them to foul a lot.
Southlake continuing their run, now cutting it all the way back. And yet another timeout called by Coach Kelly Horn. I mean, this is just, it seems like night and day with this team from the first to second half. We'll be right back after this break.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
And we're back after that break. And easy 12, now it's a 12-0 run for the Cavs to start the second half. And with it being a 6 minutes without, over 6 minutes without a point, it's tough for Clawson to find a way to get a bucket to fall in any shape or form. And there's been no attacking the basket as they were in the first half.
Yeah, I don't think it's as much a shift into the Trojans' mentality and the way they're playing as much as Southlake has adjusted. Because it's clear that Clawson came out with a very good game plan. That's the reason why they're able to jump on top of Southlake. And they had them rattled there in that first quarter. But ever since then, Southlake is now on a 23-6 run since that start of the second quarter. And the Trojans are even going to recover fast before this game might slip away from them.
And that's crazy to think about. This game started out 21-3. It just shows you that you can never put a team away, regardless of how big of a start you get off to. Looking for any type of offense. Aaliyah takes it, batted away, looking like back out. Still controlled by Clawson, kicks it to Natalie Champagne, and they almost breaks the run. Just off there, that one looked like it was gonna fall.
The Trojans really haven't had a bad possession on offense. They just can't buy a bucket.
Southlake with that basket takes the lead. That is, seems like all energy has been drained out of the Clawson teams this whole second half, and ever since they came back with that run.
And with the moment.
And a foul called. That I'm not gonna lie, Nate, looked a little bit questionable. Looked like the Southlake defender had her hand straight up, and looked like she just shot the ball right into the defender's hand, but foul was called, and Abby Lodato is going back to the line for 2. Still struggling with the free throws. They haven't scored a point, and I haven't scored a single point in the second half.
I know Coach Horn will have these girls shooting some free throws Sunday night at practice as they started off the game 3 for 11 on free throws in the second half and haven't made one yet here in the second.
No, just off. Cannot seem to find that bucket. Nothing's going through their net. Quick kick out to Ava McNeil. No. Sloppy play and another turnover as Maya Rogan takes it, and Abby Lodato takes the ball right back. Oh, pretty aggressive play there as Abby falls almost into the bleachers. But foul is called.
Another problem here for the Trojans tonight has been they have some of the key players in foul trouble. We haven't seen a lot of Renata Carlosmo, Al Werner, or Justice Biddle as much as we usually have. Those are 3 very important players for the Trojans that they are missing right now.
Let's see as Charlie Berner inbounds the ball to Aaliyah Vesper. Aaliyah always looking to attack the basket, trying to break that drought, but no. Back out to Charlie Werner, no.
Natalie Champagne has been very active on the offensive boards for the Trojans here in this third quarter, but they're only bright spot on offense.
As much as the momentum's already been shifted, Southlake cannot afford to get another bucket if you're Clawson. Abby Lodato on a break, hopefully going towards the racket. Draws another foul, and she'll go to the line for 2 more. And yeah, that's what we've seen all along the game, those 3 common things. The pace of play has been very fast. There's been many, many turnovers. And it's just sort of the foul trouble. The foul trouble now is both teams are at 6, and it's not even the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and there's one player that can definitely hang with the pace of Southlake. It's number 1, Abby Lodato. She's one of the fastest players on the court right now, if not the fastest.
And they still cannot buy a break. And they may not score in this third quarter unless they find a way to get this free throw. Still no good, and I think that's a combined 0 for 6 or 0 for 8. We'll see what the call is. The refs all looking around, and they call a block, and that seems questionable by the rest of the fans, but that'll be their 7th, and I think we're going down to shoot 1 and 1.
The Cavs haven't been much better at the line tonight. They made a few here in the second half, but the first half they were only 4 of 14 on their free throws.
So hopefully Clawson's able to buy some type of basket or any type of point just before this quarter is over. And Southlake continues their run. Has now a 15-0 run in the third quarter, and right now they've been the only point.
Yeah, and right now the difference in this third quarter has mainly been at the charity stripe. Obviously, Clawson hasn't scored a point. Southlake has made a few free throws, but Clawson has his fair share of opportunities at the free throw line.
Offensive board, another one. Nobody can seem to corral the ball from Clawson, and Abby Lodato hits the deck, and I think we're getting a timeout. Abby Lodato has been through a lot, and I think she may have we have a nosebleed. Abby Lodato will get subbed out, but I think we're going to need tissue on hand. Not the best sight to see, and Abby Lodato has done with her fair share of injuries.
One thing that's becoming evident more later on in this game is the Southlake physicality down low. They have 7 seniors on their roster compared to Clawson's 2 or 3. And Clawson's 2 seniors, who are 2 very physical, imposing players down low, are Alex Vernon and Justice Biddle, who spent most of the game on this bench due to foul trouble. So that's causing the Trojans' younger post players and 4 and 5 to have to battle with the bigger, stronger Southlake upperclassmen, and they're just not winning that battle right now.
Yeah, you're right. They're not winning that battle, and hopefully they're able to break the spell, because it's been a tough sight to see for Trojans fans for them not to buy a bucket. Southlake might be holding for the last shot here. We'll see. That's 5. We're right down the nitty-gritty. Nice jump shot, offensive board, but that'll time a run out.
That was really good to see there on defense from the Trojans, as they really suffocated Maya Rogan on that last possession.
Yeah, Clawson did not score a basket in that third quarter. So, and that was a 16-0 run that Southlake went on. So, we'll begin the fourth quarter with Clawson now trailing after getting out to that stunning 21-3 lead. So we'll see if they're able to muster anything and hopefully find some type, because it's not very often you see them go without a bucket in a full quarter.
Well, the big thing is the Clawson's still getting to the line fairly easily by being aggressive, getting to the basket. They're just not knocking down those free throws. If they can start knocking down free throws, they should have no problem getting back into this game, as long as they don't switch their mentality of getting to the basket.
And obviously the intensity is going to grow, and this is a very important fourth quarter for not only at the moment, but for the season for both of these teams, taking control of their destiny in the first, if they take over first place in their division tonight.
Yeah, and a big part of that is if Alex Werner and Justice Biddle can stay out of foul trouble in the fourth quarter, stay on the court, rebound with Southlake's big and experienced post players, and really impose himself on the offensive boards, as Natalie Champagne did a great job in the first half and the third quarter.
Let's hope that Clawson can come out and hopefully buy a basket, or at least break the spell, because they need some type of momentum to sway their way, and they just haven't found that source yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Miss Horn drew something up to run straight out of the timeout right here. That's a set play to get somebody to the basket.
As they get a blocking foul, it looks like Aaliyah Vespers going in line, but that hasn't really meant much tonight with the free throw struggle.
Yeah, and they can turn that around right here by making 2 free throws, or at least get 1. Trojans need a bucket to get back in this game.
Hopefully she can hit the first, because with it being a 1-and-1, every point's crucial at this point.
It is. It's going to come. It's the little things like these you're going to look back on in the third and fourth quarter and wonder if we did this, we did that, we did this better, then we could have won this game.
Yeah, that's going to be the major thing, is the big bodies come back in for Clawson, as Jill Lyford and Justice Biddle, the leading core rebounders of the two teams, are coming back onto the floor. Aaliyah Vesper to attempt her first, hopefully make it 2. Unable to make it happen by the offensive boards. Jill taps out, back to Renata Carlissimo. What a nice offensive board. As it's poked away though, Southlake takes possession. A transition 3. Nothing but air on that one. Maybe little things like that can help change the momentum, and hopefully Clawson just get back to their style of play is what they're mainly looking for, as Al Werner, the senior leader, checks back in.
We'll see how things change, especially on defense, now that Alex Werner and Justice Biddle are back in. We'll look for the Trojans to really crash the offensive boards here.
Renata with the mid-range, no good.
The Trojans really haven't taken a bad shot here in the second half. Just nothing is going in.
Oh, that's not a good sight. 2 players run into each other, as it's Charlie Werner of Clawson, and
looks like the Leia Horn caught the worst of that for Southlake, even though Charlie Werner's pretty banged up himself.
Charlie Werner took the brunt now. There's already a goose egg on her forehead. It looks like Charlie's going to need to be subbed out, and more ice is going to need to be brought. And now that's 2 sophomore guards taken out of the game due to injury. Oh, you just hate to see that. At least they always say it's good to see a goose egg and it's not anything eternal, but man, that was a brutal collision right there.
Yeah, that was not fun for either Delia Horn or Charlie Werner.
As we have a timeout on the floor. I'm not sure if there was a taken timeout.
Timeout. Stay here.
Well, Renata Carlissimo checked into the game for Charlie Werner, so Trojans are getting a little smaller. I expect number 12, Renata Carlissimo, to run the point, and we haven't seen a whole lot of her tonight due to foul trouble, along with Alex Werner and Justice Biddle. So see if getting those 3 back into the game here early on in the fourth quarter can really shift the momentum for the Trojans.
Yeah, let's hope it does, because, man, they've needed something to change, and now they've gone over 10 minutes without a point, dating back all the way to the halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, and it's not bad offense or they're getting bad shots. They just need to find someone who's going to go and get them a bucket and make something.
And you're exactly right. They've had plenty of opportunities, and I believe have missed now 8 to 10 free throws in a row.
The Trojans haven't made a basket yet in the second half, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Horn go back to that 1-2-1-1 press that really gave Southlake some problems early on in the game.
Ref making sure that looks like they were questioning Renata Colesimo's re-entering of the game.
Well, no, I think they're talking about the Leah Horn who caught the end of that collision from Charlie Werner, and she has a head injury, so I think that's what they're checking out right now, because I don't think the rest wanted her in the game. They wanted her to get checked out by the trainer.
So we'll see as the ice is being delivered to Southlake and seeing how each player is reacting to that. Hopefully both are okay. And now there seems to be conversation and the ref is going to the table. Not really sure exactly what this commotion is about with the referees, and hopefully the game resumes. So. And we'll see as Southlake inbounds the ball here. Clawson has needed to get more stops, but it's mainly been finding their way, and it's like you said, not anything bad offensively. They just needed to find just something to fall, and nothing has. Southlake with the main point guard holding the ball up top, down to the wing, back up top. Looking like Southlake's trying to find their way, and they get a double dribble call on Southlake, and it'll be a Clawson ball.
Good hands there by number 14, Joe Reifler, to poke at that ball without picking up another foul.
Now Colesimo bringing the ball up. Seems like a little bit of half-court pressure applied now by Southlake as they back into their set defense. Now Leah Vesper loses the ball, and it's an easy breakaway. And Maya Rogan takes it in for the easy two, and Southlake is still on that run.
Clawson's held Maya Rogan without a field goal all night, and they can't let her get hot because she's a very talented player.
Leah Vesper always looking to the lane, draws the foul, but once again, they have not made many free throws, and none at all coming in the second half.
This is huge here for the Trojans. See if they can get this game back within at least a possession.
Yeah, it's very important that she finds a way to at least hit one, if not both. Referee seems to be having some trouble with the word choice of Maya Rogan.
That clearly appeared to be a shooting foul, but for some reason there seems to be confusion why the rest think it's a 1-and-1. Not sure how that works out.
Yeah, it's very confusing when not a very confusing subject is taking place. Hopefully Leah Vesper is able to contribute and at least make one.
Wow. Story of the second half there for the Trojans. Looks good and just rims out. Kelly Horn is heated right now. She's laying into the official.
And there was very much confusion, and the crowd is really loving Miss Horn get heated for some odd reason. But it was a shooting foul. There should have been no confusion. I'm not sure if they thought it was a 1-and-1 because of the foul number, but obviously there was visible confusion, and both coaches are now left upset. And they finally find their second half point, and it only took them a quarter and about another quarter. And it's a three-point
Here comes
game.
the Trojans with that three-quarter court pressure.
Hopefully the pressure leads to a turnover because that's where they were successful, and it does. And that's the turnover they needed, and hopefully momentum is finally shifting back to Clawson.
Well, that was a totally different pressure that they threw at them. The Southlake hasn't seen that yet, and they obviously did not have a player with threat to that errant pass.
Abby Lodato already checked back in, looking to solve her bloody nose issue. Crowd itching for a basket here. Renata Colesimo gets it on the wing. looking to find anything to set up. Nobody's moving. And they draw a foul. And we get looks like a push on Southlake. And it looks like a full-on push. Looking like that was a pretty aggressive foul as Justice goes for another 1-and-1. Hopefully she's able to hit the first and draw that lead back to 2. But man, Wilbur Jones is showing his disapproval. And she hits the first. And after a long drought, Clawson has now hit 2 in a row.
Yeah, no, that's huge for the Trojans, who haven't made a three-pointer all night long to get the game back within 2 points.
It is nice to see the success from the free throw line at the moment. 3 in a row, and the Trojans are right back in it, making it a 1-point game.
And here it looks like a three-quarters court version of that 1-2-1-1.
Another turnover, and the Trojans have now caused 2 straight turnovers and another foul. And wow, everybody is getting at it there. Number 4 is very aggressive and goes straight to the bench as she has fouled out.
And this is huge. The last 30 seconds have been huge for the Trojans because 1, they're back within a point, and 2, they've really got this home court advantage back into it.
As Justice Biddle is just patiently waiting to shoot her free throws. But man, number 4 did not seem to agree with that, and she is so hard to not let frustration get you, but you can't let it happen. Misses the first one, but at least the Trojans know they will be in a double bonus the rest of the game. And that may come into play. Looks like there's more confusion about subbing.
Yeah, this looks to be the rest fall here. As Wilbur Jones is heated because his player fouled out and wasn't instantly allowed to get number 12, DeLea Horn, back into the game for his Cavs team, as they only had 4 players on the court momentarily.
Hopefully Justice Biddle can make her second free throw to tie the game. And it's good to see the Trojans finally get something because it feels like now that it's more even and it's not one side or another. And she does, and now brings Clawson back to tie the game. We got a timeout called by Southlake. And we'll be right back after this.
Today we want to take you inside of our Sportsmanship Summit program.
For over 20 years, the MHSAA has conducted Sportsmanship Summits, and annually more than 1,000 student athletes from over 100 schools participate in a series of workshops during the month of November. The focus is on the line that separates good from bad sportsmanship, not just as participants, but as spectators cheering at athletic events. The MHSAA Student Advisory Council has a hand in developing the curriculum using insights gained from the annual Battle of the Fans competition. Details for the upcoming Battle of the Fans are introduced at all 4 workshops. During breakout sessions, students meet and discuss sportsmanship with local registered game officials who explain sportsmanship from their perspective and how that differs from what students experience as participants or fans, and engage in different exercises designed to help communicate the message of good sportsmanship. Schools wrap up the day-long summit by developing a sportsmanship campaign to implement locally.
Here in the fourth quarter, Southlake with the ball looking to take the lead and take advantage in this fourth quarter.
The Trojans are back to their man-to-man defense.
Hopefully locking in and going back to what they saw in the first half. And a turnover, much needed. Abby Lodato trying to find a way, dumps it off, and that ball is batted but controlled. Trying to slow things down. Al Verner gets that pump fake by Al Verner. Rebounded by Southlake, but man, Al Verner's been killing on the pump fake, but the outlet pass has always been there for Southlake the whole night. And it's just off the mark. Al Verner controls it for Clawson.
That's a great skip pass by Renata Carlosimo to free up Alex Verner on that last possession.
You see what leads to the fast pace of play is that outlet pass from Southlake seems to generate a lot of more fast pace.
They immediately look up the court to get that outlet pass. It doesn't matter. There's not one particular guard they're looking for. They have 5 players on the court that can push the ball up the court at almost all times.
Nice control. And a 3 by Abby Lodato, just off the mark. and Southlake will head back down. Off and rebounded by Al Verner. Brought up by Renata. It's a 2-on-2. She goes, and she'll get the charge.
That was
number 44, Natalia Cox, drawing the charge.
That's a very smart play by Cox. He was obviously the bigger out of her and Carlissimo, and Carlissimo was not anticipating that whatsoever. That's a great job by Malaya Cox.
And with 4:24, Renata Carlissimo is charged with the foul. Southlake inbounds, and it looks like the pressure is back on for Clawson. Hopefully they can find some pressure. And Abby Lodato with the steal, and it's just off the mark to take the lead, and the ball game will remain tied at 31. All the way down, number 10 takes it just off the mark, rebounded by Jill Lilford. Kelly Horn telling them to slow the pace, take control of what they want to do for the rest of this possession. Low, nice backdoor cut by Renata, takes it to the hoop, just off the side. But we get a travel, and it'll remain Clawson ball. Let's hope that they can take advantage of all these turnovers finally.
Clawson is yet to hit a field goal here in the second half.
Natalie Champagne with the mid-range, doesn't find anything. But a steal by Renata Carlissimo, hopefully takes it in, floater. Finds the first field goal and the lead for the Trojans, 33-31.
What a smart play there by number 12, Renata Carlissimo, getting the steal and pulling up for
right
a floater.
Back after Southlake takes a jumper, rebounded by Jill Lilford. Out to Renata Carlissimo, and she's going to slow the pace down as Clawson has regained the lead and looking to gain composure. Renata Carlissimo giving the play signal down. Swung over to Natalie Champagne. Now over to Abby Lodato for an open mid-range, just off the mark. As Maya Rogan, their star point guard, brings the ball back up, and they are driving it down behind the back. And they're going to the line for two.
If there's one player that the Trojans don't want to see get going in these last 3 minutes, it's Maya Rogan. They held her at bay all game, but now is not the time to let her do her thing.
Yeah, you can't let a good player like Maya get going. Let's hope we'll see what comes of these. Good on the first to make it a 1-point game, and it seems between the stands that the few parents that Southlake have, it's getting pretty chippy. Justice Biddle checks back in after her quick minute break. Coming out for the Trojans, Natalie Champagne and Renata Carlissimo. She misses the second. And nice rebound by Justice, and they causes an over the back call by number 12. Delia Horn called for the over the back foul, and Justice will go back to shoot two.
That's Justice Biddle's job. Is when she's in the game, her job is to rebound. She's one of the best in the league at it. And now she gets rewarded by going to the line and getting to shoot 2 free throws here for the Trojans down the stretch.
Let's see if she can convert, as she was a crucial part in the Trojans regaining the lead this second half.
That is true.
As hits the first to make it a 2-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Second on the way. And she finds it. Make it a 3-point game, and with only 2 3-point baskets being made on the night, it's going to take more than one shot for Southlake to find their way back into it.
Looked to be a little bit of confusion on the way down the court, so the Trojans can set up in their defense. It looks like they got it all figured out now.
Ball swing around, pretty tight defense. And we get a travel call.
That's a great defensive possession by the Trojans. The help was there. Even though Justice Biddle barely got beat, she recovered, and that ball handler had nowhere to go.
Looking like a little bit of confusion from Southlake players on that offensive possession. Abby Lodato coming back after a nosebleed is back in the game over for the point, taking over at point guard.
Great move.
Down to Justice. Justice in the middle.
Good
Sees,
pass.
finds the look to Leah Vesper, and it's good.
That was a great offensive possession all around by the Trojans. Abby Lodato set that whole thing up by making a great move at the top of the key, and 2 straight passes led to the easy bucket for the Trojans.
And great defense by Abby Lodato. Regains the dribble, and the fans getting into it, but a wide open player left underneath, and Jill Lilford is called for the foul.
All right, South Grade did a great job of moving the ball around with that pressure, and a great pass down low by Maya Rogan to Crystal Horn. I'm sorry, her sister DeLeo Horn, who now goes to the line to shoot 2 crucial 3 throws here for the Cavs.
But the Trojans finally finding a way to get the ball in the basket this fourth quarter has led obviously to huge for the down the stretch. Now still a 2-possession game.
Well, they had great offensive possessions that whole entire second half. They just couldn't find put the ball in the basket, but now they're doing the same thing, a little bit more effective, and now they're just putting the ball into the basket.
What a nice
that
rebound by Jill Lilford. She comes down with it with about 2 minutes remaining in the game. Oh, something looked a little bit off there. No call though. Al Werner driving in the lane. Back out to Jill Lilford. Loses control, but Kelly Horn times a smart, timely timeout.
Smart timeout here by Kelly Horn to maybe get a set play, run, and try to get an easy bucket out of this timeout, or maybe she's going for a time-wasting strategy, as there is no shot clock here in high school basketball, and a lot of teams will have a play just to get the ball rotating and lose time and burn off the clock when they have a slight lead in the final minutes of the game.
And it seems like it's been day and night from the first to second half. You've seen the similarities, but it seems like a feel of a different ball game in the second half.
Yeah, well, the way the Trojans are finding success here in the second half isn't nearly the same way they were doing in the first half. The first half was all pressure, and while they did get their fair share of turnovers here in the second half, they weren't able to get set up in that suffocating press of theirs because they haven't put the ball in the basket as much. But they got some key turnovers at the right time and found a way to get some key baskets to hopefully finish this game out with a 4-point lead with 1:51 left.
And let's see if they'll be able to finish it out and how aggressive they are to score points, or if they'll be more conservative before running a play.
With set play here, timeout, and Abby Lodato is free.
Wide open under the net, and what a very smart play call. It seemed like the screen got her open.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing job by Miss Horn, and the players obviously were paying attention in the huddle, and amazing execution down the stretch at a crucial time here for the Trojans.
The ball bounces around, no good. Justice Biddle looked like she got reached in, but a 3-point shot now by Southlake. Another rebound by Justice, and another tip pass and turnover. This ball is just batted around right now. It's almost like pinball as Abby Lodato finally takes possession with 1:20 left in the game. They need to get over half court. Finally does, slowing things down and making sure they're conservative at this point in the game.
Looks like the Trojans are looking to waste time here.
Kelly Horn doing the smart thing. And another costly turnover now for the Trojans with 1:02 left. It's still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Horn call another timeout here just to get that point across to their girls. Hey, we don't need to force anything. Just be patient and let's waste some time.
The pressure seems to be getting broke pretty easily. Driving, no good. Al Werner with the rebound, and looks like Clawson now has control. And Coach Horn puts her hands up in the air looking to seal this game.
Yeah, it looks like Abby Dotto does a good job of demanding the ball there once the rebound was got and doing her thing. She's a great ball handler, very quick, and now she's going to the line to shoot 2 free throws to try to ice this game.
And it was very nice to see how Clawson was able to rebound in that fourth quarter and finally break that momentum shift that Southlake had created in that whole second half.
Well, people don't realize how hard it is mentally to break out of to fight off a large run by Southlake like that and come back and win a basketball game. I mean, this is a huge. Coach Horn will be very happy that this happened because it proves how mentally tough her team is.
And especially with it being league play, they will see Southlake again. There's a little bit of confusion there, thinking that it was a 1-and-1, but it is 2 shots once again.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a blowout in the first quarter, but that's not going to happen again the next time these teams play. It's going to be a dogfight yet again. I would imagine by watching this game tonight, it's going to be for the Max Silver title.
Oh, that's a tech.
That's a tech.
That should be a technical foul. You cannot slam the ball. I hope we get a call out of this, but
I'd be very, very confused why they would not call a technical. Wilbur Jones may be correct here about Clawson getting a timeout, which they should not have gotten, but the Southway player cannot slam the ball over her head, which should be a technical. I would not surprised to see Wilbur Jones get teed up if he doesn't stop very soon.
He is very heated at the moment, but it was very odd to see. Wilbur Jones is still pleading his case, but no technical came of the ball slamming. But
yeah, this is very confusing why there is no T. It's a very clear rule, whether it's aggression or frustration with yourself or displeasure with the officials. You cannot take the ball and slam it over your head. It's that is definitely a technical. I'm very confused why that did not get called because it happened right in the middle of the court.
And now when it seemed like Southlake had possession of the ball, Kelly Horn called a timeout before they gained possession.
Good job there by Renato Carlson protecting the ball.
Clawson looking like they are finally in control and looking like they can control their fate if they hit a free throw here. Very crucial to make this a 3-possession game. And Renata does just that, making the first free throw to put her up by 7 and hopefully sealing this game. She drills the second to make it an 8-point game, and now it's desperation time for Southlake. And a turnover by Justice Biddle, and another turnover. Ball's being batted around.
Justice Biddle has done a great job here since she came in late in the fourth quarter. She's one of the main reasons the game turned around, whether it's a free throw shooting, but mainly I think it's on the defensive end of the court.
Southlake gets a bucket and a quick timeout called to cut it down to a 6-point game. We have a quick 30-second timeout called by Southlake. But could be very, very frustrating on both sides of the tape. Hopefully we know they're going to be playing the foul game, but hopefully Clawson is able to get this done quicker than, hopefully they're able to get it done in a quick manner. Very exciting and very happy to have been able to call this first game. With 13.2 left on the clock, it's going to be very key that they are just able to hold on to the ball and don't cause any unnecessary turnovers. Well, it looks like the timeouts are coming to a close, and Clawson will finally be able to rebound or inbound the ball. Clawson setting up for the final 13 seconds of this game. Hopefully finish it off for good. And then they do just that. Renata Colesmo gains possession and immediately foul, but still almost taking off 2 seconds.
I'm very impressed with how Clawson's young guards have handled the game management here at the end, wasting time, protecting the ball, and getting to the free throw line to knock down 3 throws at the end of the game.
Especially with a very senior-led Southlake team, only having 2 freshmen and everybody else being an upperclassman.
Yeah, but number 12, Delia Hunter, is a very impressive freshman for the Southlake Cavaliers, and she's going to shine in this league for years to come.
And it seems like Renata Colesimo has caught the hot hand here at the end as she's hit 3 free throws in a row.
Yeah, her and Justice Biddle really took over offensively down the stretch to give the Trojans a 7-point lead here at the end of the game.
Justice Biddle takes control, and it looks like they'll just dribble the clock out. We'll see if we get another foul. And they do with 2.8, but the game is still practically over.
Again, it's just great awareness by number 12, Renata Colesmo, to catch that ball, even though she was in a great scoring position, to dribble it back out to the top of the key.
And hopefully Renata going back to the line for 2, and hopefully putting a close to this game. Good on the first, and good to see that Clawson was able to finally take control and score 14 points after not scoring any in that third quarter.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with their mental toughness here.
And that's the definition of this game for Clawson, is just the hustle as Al Verner grabs the offensive board to close out this game with a final score of 43-35. And thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back with the post-game interview.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Her impressive 43-35 win over Southlake. And how would you describe your team's mental toughness tonight?
Our mental toughness? Mental toughness, we had a struggle in the third quarter, but proud of the girls for coming back in the fourth. We obviously went into halftime with big lead, and we might have got a little overconfident, but proud of the way they came back in the fourth quarter and hit some free throws down the stretch and got some big steals.
What do you think were the main reasons you got off to such a fast start in the first quarter?
We were prepared. We were prepared for number 3 and number 4 on Southlake. We had a game plan coming in, and the kids executed that to a T in the first half. We went away from it a little bit in the third quarter. We tried to switch things up, but as soon as we saw them coming back, we switched it back to what was working, and we came out with the victory.
Did the foul trouble have much effect on how you coached in the second half?
Foul trouble always has an effect, but we have a deep bench, and I have confidence in a lot of kids coming off the bench to be able to put in some tough minutes, and that's what they did.
How impressed were you with the late fourth quarter run that you were able to recompose yourself and retake the lead?
That's senior leadership right there. That's Alex Verner on the floor taking control and making sure that our sophomores and our juniors are prepared for a fourth quarter rush, and that's what she did.
Well, thank you and congrats on a big win.
Thanks, Jack.